Hello and welcome to the Frozen Card Gaming YouTube channel. My name is Oliver Newton and I'll be showcasing my Invoked Dogmatika deck. This video is made in collaboration with Card Market, which is Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. There is no better place to fulfill all your Yu-Gi-Oh! And card game based needs. This platform also has sections for all other major card games. You can find a link to Card Market down in the description below. Now, without further ado, let's get onto the deck profile. Onto the monsters. Play 3 Alistair. This is an Invoked base deck, so 3 Alistair is definitely staple. Onto the Dogmatika monsters. We play 1 Maximus, 2 Fleur, and 3 Ecclesias. So in the Invoked variant, 3 Ecclesias and 2 Fleur is pretty much staple. This is your searcher of the deck, so it searches any of these 2 or punishment, which is pretty good, and it can't be destroyed by an extra deck monster, which is a bonus and sometimes stops you from getting gamed. And then 2 Fleur, because it's kind of like another hand trap, except for turn 0. If you control, if either player controls an extra deck monster, you can summon this card from your hand, and if you control a Dogmatika monster, you can negate the effects of one monster your opponent controls, which is all one effect, and it doesn't target. So it's pretty good. And also, if this card declares an attack, you can make all Dogmatika monsters you control gain 500 attack each. So this also can help with OTKs, so you don't always need to use the negate effect. You can just build a board and just go for game sometimes. And then the 1 Maximus, the ratios of this card is literally like everywhere. Some are playing 0, 1, 2 or 3, literally. But what I'm personally doing is maining 1 and siding 1, because a lot of you probably already know it is bad against any Dogmatika based decks or other decks that have like a huge range of extra deck options, like Guru, where they can build an extra deck to counter this card. So obviously against Dogmatika variant decks and the decks that can have the extra deck for this card, they can send Unce and Titanic Lag. That's just the Dogmatika's decks, which means they can pop a card and get a search in your end phase, or they can send a Nova and Unce, and it'll make Nova chain link 1, so you can't ash it, and then chain link 2 Unce to pop a card, and then they get them a card by themselves. And one problem with this card is you have to use the effect after you special summon from the extra deck if you have Alistair, because it locks you out of the extra deck for the rest of the turn. So you have to go, so if you have Alistair and you can summon this, you have to go into your Macabre first and then use this card's effect. But I decided to play the 1 because there are 6 ways to search this card, so there's like 7 of this. So obviously 3 this searches it, and then the 3 Nadir. Obviously it's good against every other deck that doesn't punish you for using this effect. And obviously I played a Shadow engine, so it helps you go into Winder, or you send your Unce to pop cards, or get end phase Titanic Clad, search or summon. So I do think 1 is definitely worth playing. Okay, maybe you can main 2, but I'm personally just going to stick with main 1, side 1, which I find really good personally. And then onto the hand traps, we have Double Ogre, Triple Rash, Gamma Package, and Triple Impermanence. So these are like pretty much your standard hand traps. See them like in nearly every deck. I played the Gamma package. It is like the best hand trap, but obviously the drawback is you have to control no monsters, so it can be really, so it's more than likely going to be really bad going first. But you can use it as your Macabre discard, so it's not completely useless. But like I said, it's so good that it's worth playing, because Solemn Strike in your opponent's turn is pretty nuts and can just end turns, especially in this deck. Like, if my Alistair gets I hate that play so much when they gamma your Alistair, because that can straight up end your turn. Like, sometimes I have to use an Ash so I can actually play and not end with nothing. So for example, let's just say hang on, this. Let's say that's my hand going first. Just move that all right away for a sec. You summon Alistair, they attempt to go gamma, like you've got no choice but to Ash it, and then you go into your eventual Macabre play to and then you add this back, and then you special summon this and get your search. They'll probably try and use gamma again, and you negate it, and then you either get into your Maximus, Fleur, or punishment. So you're still not in a bad position. But if that gamma went through, like literally, I guess having gamma myself, it's not bad, but it could have been like any other useless card and could just like made my hand like really bad just from that one gamma. And then the 2 ogres. So I guess you can either play Vader instead. Vader is better against stuff like the mirror match, but I like ogre because using it against needle fiber is like really powerful. I think it's better than Veiler because it can stop their link cross plays. Against noble knights, this on its own can straight out. If they summon that, I can't remember its name, but the one they get that mouse thingy. Like if you ogre that, sometimes it ends the turn. It hits Dwendal, hits Numenor Network, and plus I've already pretty much got 3 Veilers and 3 better Veilers. So I think Ogre is definitely worth playing over Veiler. So yeah, that's all the monsters and hand traps. Now onto the spells. We have the 1 Terraforming, 4th Meltdown, 7th Alistair. No reason not to play it. Play Upstart because 39 is better than 40. 2 droplets. So originally I was playing 3 droplets and no Upstart, but with all the hand traps in the deck, I found like you didn't really like. Yeah, droplets is a very good card, but I think 2 is more than enough, especially with the hand traps. And it can get cloggy. And obviously Upstart does slightly increase your consistency of the deck. And yeah, 2 droplets, because negating effects and non-targeting is pretty busted and your opponent can't respond with the cards you send. Oh yeah, and a cool play is if they have a monster, you summon Alistair, they go like Veiler or Imperm, you can chain droplets, half an attack and negate a monster your opponent controls, and then still get Invocation. So that's one like really cool play of this deck. And if you have Meltdown, it's just like a free card, pretty much. But the one problem is like going second against a deck that summons Herald, because it sends to the graveyard as cost. You can't send monsters from your hand because while Herald's on the field, all monsters sent from the hand or deck get banished instead. So you can't even attempt to send a monster from hand. And then 3 Desires, it says draw 2. Like, there's no reason not to play it. You're playing like 3-offs of a lot of things, and like very rarely it's going to lose your games. Like, so far I've only lost 1 game to a Desires Banish, but it has won me countless games. Like, literally I've lost count how many games like this giving me advantage has won me. So it's definitely 100% worth playing. And then 3 Nadir, the Spell Searcher of Dogmatikas, standard. Oh yeah, this card is can be a +2, because let's say you play this, send this Titanic Clad, and then you search your Ecclesia. You either search your oh, hang on. Yeah, you search this, your punishment, and obviously set it and do whatever, and then end phase, this will search your it will search your fleur. So off that 1 card is a +2. So it's pretty amazing. Or instead you can, what is it? You send this to add this, and then the effect will add Schism, then you can discard it, then you summon Ecclesia to add Maximus, then Maximus effect, banish this to summon, and then you'll send Construct and Titanic Clad. So then Construct will add this, and that's a Shadow and Dark for your window, and then end phase this will search fluidly. Unless you already have one, then you'll probably search this. So yeah, that card on its own can be pretty nuts. And then we play 3 Invocation. I play 3 because Desires, and if they negate your Alistair and you open Invocation as well, it's like they've wasted a negation for nothing. Well, unless they gamma, and then, like I said, you don't get to go in, like, that makes it like really hard and can just end your turn. And obviously you can't go into your Almirage and Secure Gardener play because your Alistair got destroyed before you can link it off. So that's it for spells. And then the rest of the, oh no, whoops, and 3 Meltdown, because it gets you your Alistair. And then for the rest of the traps, so obviously I've already showed 3 Impermanence. I played a 1 Schism for the Shadow play, and Punishment. I played 2 because it's nice to have a definite search of this card, because obviously I play Desires, so if you banish 1 and only play 1, you've obviously don't have 1 for the entire game. But it's really nice to have like a double pop, or sometimes it can be a consistency card where you just don't open a great hand, but you open this and then you send Titanic Lad and get a search. Or actually no, I mean you will summon your Ecclesia and then search in your opponent's end phase. Or double pop is pretty nice as well. I did try it at 1, but I found like I missed the second one, so I'd really recommend playing 2. And now onto the extra deck. We have the 1 Titanic Clad, 3 Macabre, 1 Purgatrio, 1 Orgodes, or however you pronounce it, And then the 3 Shadows, Construct, Winder, and App Cologne. Then you play 2 Unts, the 1 Omega because recycling stuff is really good. 1 Nightmare, and then the Mirage and Gardener. So I play one of this because a lot of the time I only need it once in the game. Like sometimes I wish I had a second one, but not often enough to play the second. So this extra deck, at least 13 cards are staple, that's the problem. So it's kind of tight. So that there is staple, obviously the third one and Phoenix are just personal choices. So I play 3 Macabre because I just feel unsafe. Well, yeah, I guess unsafe, and don't have as much resources to grind by just playing 2, but that could be just me overthinking it. But to be honest, it's not like you can't really do much better with your choices because, like I said, there are 13 staple cards, unless you take out the Shadow package, which I highly don't recommend because the Shadow package is really good and it's another play to go into when you go first. And then there's Phoenix because popping back row and then going into Invocation can be pretty nice. Like sometimes, I know twice I went into Mirage. I didn't go into Secure Gardener because you can't link it off, and then Special Summon Ecclesia without using her search effect. Went into this, go Invocation. Or that, yeah, like if I had 2, I can just OTK from that. Like I said, this is just good for recycling, and popping stuff is pretty nice. Like especially double pop when you send it with punishment, like I mentioned earlier on. Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention with Shadar Rook. Some people forget its other effect, which is when you fusion summon with this card, you could send a monster your opponent controls with the same attribute to the graveyard, and that is all one effect as well. So, which can come quite in handy. So if there's times where I just send this to the graveyard and get another dark in the graveyard with both these in the extra deck still, like for example against the mirror, I'll use this. They won't, they can't negate, or they won't, and then I summon Construct and like send their Macabre to the grave. And then obviously the window is pretty nice against combo decks. And onto the side deck. So we play 1 Pankratops, a generic going second card, like against like nearly everything. Well, you probably wouldn't side it against like Mystic Mine, or I'm not sure about Pure Eldritch, but yeah. Then we play Maximus. Where I'll put the second Maximus in when I go first against any deck that doesn't punish you for using its effect. Then you play Triple Nibiru for combo decks. It's pretty much a staple. It's even a side or main in nearly every deck. Call by the Grave. Generic going first card. Couldn't fit a third one in, but I think 2 is enough anyways. And then we play Triple Cyclone, a generic back row removal card, good for going first and second, especially against Eldritch. So they can't banish their traps from the graveyard because they're banished. And then we play 2 Evenly. This is a personal preference. You can play Lightning Storm instead, which I might actually do. But the reason I like Evenly Matched because of Eldritch and banishing their traps, which they can't reuse. But if it weren't for Eldritch, I probably would have definitely gone for Lightning Storm, but I might consider it because of Solemn Judgment, because a lot of Eldritch decks will side that. And you'd rather have them bait out your Lightning Storm because then at least you still get a battle phase. And then Free Judgment, a generic going first against everything. I guess another option is a Pointer of the Red Lotus, but I really don't like that card because if you have a bad hand, then stalling for a turn will likely not do anything. But I really like Judgment because sometimes on its own it can be devastating, and it's good. Like it can be good, like whether you're bricked or probably not the best, but I think it's better than Red Lotus if you have bricked. So yeah. So that's it for the deck. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, a huge shout out to Card Market. You can find a link to their website in the description down below. Don't forget to check them out, and hopefully see you next time.